the biggest announcement from this Nintendo Direct has got to be Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Let's talk about this. What is this game? This is like, wonder is kind of the key word here, not just from the title, but I am wondering what is going on. Mario is an elephant. There's flowers that talk to you. It all looks different because it's not New Super, but it also looks different from any other 2D Mario game, not just graphically, but mechanically too. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here. There's purple coins. There's a bunch of like, this foreground, background, which I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, have we ever seen that?
Not once. No, not in a 2D Mario game.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here. For some reason, roller skates are big. There are Koopas that are roller skating. I think a Wiggler roller skates later on, too. I don't know. What is going on? What are your guys' first impressions on this?
Well, I brought this up earlier when we were in a call, and the name Wonder for the longest time really just, it was weird to me. It doesn't really flow well or anything. But then I thought about it more, and it's you got all these weird, things moving around. He takes, basically, a drug flower. I don't know how else to say it on the podcast. It looks the visuals. It looks like that. It looks like Alice in Wonderland. I think that's what they're going for with this whole thing. He's in he's in a mysterious, kind of scary, but also just kind of weird world, a Wonderland. I think I love the change in art style, even though some people don't think it's a change in art style. I think it's a pretty big change in art style. Yeah, I think it looks great. I'm very, very excited about this for sure.
I think it looks great. I think 2D platformers are particularly one of the hardest games to trailer out. Just because it's so dependent on how it plays, and you just don't get that from a trailer. I'm gonna be honest, maybe this is disrespectful. To me, Celeste, I remember seeing Celeste in an Indies Direct, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. I like the graphics. I like, what it's going for. The music is really good in the trailer, but Celeste to me, I watched gameplay of it, at least at first, and I'm like, it's an indie pixelated 2D platformer. Okay, this is something we've never seen before, Cap. But then it ends up being one of my favorite indies, scratch that, one of my favorite games of all time. I love Celeste, and a lot of that's just because of how fluid the controls are. I mean, there's no reason for me to doubt the 2D Mario team. I don't think they've ever made a bad or poorly controlling game. But I also just don't know how it controls yet. So it's impossible for me to say oh, this is going to be my favorite 2D Mario ever. But with that being said, the fact that 2D Marios are so hard to show off in trailers, yet this game has the entire internet talking, the entire Nintendo community looking forward to it, I think that's a testament to how creative the game itself seems to be. And I don't know necessarily how creative that means, if the game's really being that creative, or if we've just kind of been, in the creative doldrums, I guess to say, with New Super Mario Bros., where it's okay, it's kind of the same thing over and over again, now this is something super crazy. I don't necessarily know what kind of where the road meets in that sense, but honestly, I love what we've seen so far. The power-ups look great. The little one-off challenges that happen when you get the Wonder Shroom or Wonder Seed, those all look great. Yeah, I got a lot more to say, but overall, I'm very optimistic about this game. It's just, whereas for Odyssey or Breath of the Wild or a certain Pokemon games or something like that, Mario Kart, it's super easy for me to get insanely hype before I've played the game. Specifically for 2D Mario, I don't know what it is. I can't fully get there, at least not from one trailer.
Yeah.
I need an extended look at the gameplay to kind of get how it is, because this all looks great, but it also it's very much they could just be picking and choosing, crazy parts of the game and not showing us a bunch. I don't think that's what is happening, but it's 2D Mario is always kind of a hard one for me to get super hyped for just from trailers. But with that being said, that's a testament to how good this game looks already, that I am high. I'd say I'm an 8 out of 10. I'm very, very hyped for this game. I'm just not at that 10 out of 10 level yet. But yeah, overall, I mean, this is coming out in October. That's in 4 or 5 months. We are closer to playing this game than not. And that's insane. So I cannot wait for learning more about this weird elephant-filled caterpillar mechanic, weird graphic-looking game. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll take it. I think it's just it. I'm just glad they tried something different here, because they could have easily just done New Super Mario Bros. Switch. They could have easily done that, and it would have sold an insane amount of copies. But the fact that they, gave it a different subtitle and made the graphics like a little bit more, just like they just in the cute little flowers that are like talking to you throughout the levels. Like, I love everything I see so far. Like, I think it's really neat.
Yeah, there's definitely some backlash on Twitter that we've seen where, people are saying that this game is similar to the new Soup games, and I really don't see that at all. The formula has pretty much been completely shaken up, and going into even 2D game pretty much post like Deluxe, I really don't know where they would have gone, because I know the conversation that we've had internally, at least for a long time, is that like Bowser's Fury is the future. Like, this has to be like, the set of game that we're going to get. I don't know if we're going to get another 2D game. Where can they go from here? They've done everything. And somehow they've surprised us once again. And Mario turns into an elephant. And a bunch of other interesting things that we've seen in these trailers. Possible challenge stages or time trials. New playable characters that haven't been in before. A mix of 3D World and some aspects of Donkey Kong Country, like Tropical Freeze with the foreground. The 3D World, as in the map looks very similar to 3D Worlds, as in it's a 2D map, but you can actually roam around in it. So that's really nice to see for sure. And it's just, this game seems like a combination of a bunch of other games that I really love. So there's no way it can be bad. Like, I don't know. I just feel like this has to be a slam hit for sure. Like, my excitement level is definitely a 10 at this point.
I'm 100% with you. I mean, like, we'll probably talk about like some cautious points we have to the game, but I think I speak for all of us when saying I don't think there's ever been a 2D Mario that's lower than a 7 out of 10. Like, even like
only
I was gonna say New Super Mario Bros. 2 would be the only one that, in my opinion,
just because it's so similar to the other games. If you had never played those other games in your life,
I mean, I think my contention with that was like the I just did not like the coins mechanic. It was just a lot. Fair. Like that was just me. It was just a lot. But other than that, like 2D Mario has given us no reason to be like, oh, this game might be bad. Like it's pretty much had a pretty clean track record. And I don't think a lot of people hate New Super Mario Bros. 2 at all. That's just my opinion. So I don't think they've necessarily made a bad game. So for people basically complaining like, oh, they use the same font as the new Soup games, it's over. It's like, well, so what? It really
something
doesn't
funny
matter.
I just thought of was, how anytime anybody ever brings up New Super Mario Bros. U, they always bring up that one Van Gogh level that like is like super pretty. They just took that and made it into Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah.
When you think about it, they took the praise from the last game and decided, what if we made that entire game?
It is very visually pleasing for sure. I did not expect them to do this, and there's a lot of tiny kind of animations that I don't know if you guys noticed, but I pick up on them where Mario was running and his hat kind of like flies off his head a little bit, and you see his mustache going in the wind and stuff. Like right here,
there,
literally. Like quite literally right there. I'll go back just so we can see. And I mean, it's just
there's
like
a lot of
things
attention
like that.
to detail. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and people are somehow hating on this game. Now I'm not gonna act like people are hating and it's like, oh my god, I'm the only one. How you guys not see it? But just there's a few minority on Twitter that are thinking bad things about the game, and I just highly doubt it. But yeah, excitement level is definitely a 10, and we'll be playing it the second it is released. Quite literally, the second it's released.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Now, hypothetically, do you think in a universe sometime soon we get Mario Maker 3 with Wonder as like a new game style?
I heard you talk about this earlier today. Yeah.
Like, it feels like a gimme, right?
Probably.
Feels like that.
I could see it.
Yeah.
It would almost have to be a 3D World-esque kind of barricaded off on its own, assets do not translate over type thing, because there's so much here. Like, even this example, those colorful music note blocks that you see on the ground, those are different from normal music blocks. They behave differently from what we've seen. You can like run across them and they drop a little bit. Enemies can walk on them and they drop a little bit, but they're not like, they don't like bounce you up. They are somewhat different. There are pipes that you can enter in and then enter out within the same like hub world, and it doesn't fade the screen to black. There are enough things, kind of like clear pipes actually. There are enough things to where it would have to be its own style. I don't know. This throws Mario Maker 3 into question if it's even going to happen for me, because Mario Maker kind of was born out of, okay, Nintendo doesn't know what to do with 2D Mario, or at least that's what it felt like. And now they've found their footing again. They have what seems to be the most creative 2D Mario ever. I don't think it's crazy to say that. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that.
Right now that take I agree with, but probably like back then it was probably crazy when we first saw the propeller mushroom. Oh my god, if you shake the Wiimote, you can fly into the air. Mario can fly into the air after running for all these years. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just imagining what like Nintendo's speculation YouTube could be like in 2006, but
yeah, there's a good point though. We're definitely in rose tinted glasses territory right now. We just saw this less than 12 hours ago. After a decade of not having a single new 2D Mario game. Yeah,
what's
honestly,
the future tinted glasses? I'm sorry, I had this total tangent. I apologize, but rose tinted glasses is looking to the past. What is the future?
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, anyways, move on. That was a bad tangent. Continue.
No.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Mac ate one of these flowers before the podcast, dude.
Yeah.
I think he ate one of those.